It is such shores and landmark historical sites like Fort Jesus that define the coastal town of Mombasa, along the corridors of one of Kenya's most ancient towns, appropriately named Old Town, that two historical tales are told. One on how back in 1593, a small town dominated by Portuguese merchants became one of the biggest towns in Africa, and another taking us years later to 1975, when a young boy was born in Old Town's Kibokoni, an only child who grew up with decent privileges like most other boys here, but who from a tender age had big dreams for the future.
I had always wanted to be a pilot, and I refined that even more when I was in high school, when I became a fan of fighter jets, and therefore then wanted to focus my dreams on being a fighter pilot.
Years later, the young man may not have graced the skies in a fighter jet, but having found him here minutes after he officially cleared with the Kenya National Commission on Human Rights Office, he hopes to fly to even greater heights politically.
Reposition myself for the new challenge that I want to undertake, which is to run for the position of Senator of Mombasa County.
Behind closed doors, commissioners of the Kenyan National Commission on Human Rights meet for the final time, their term in office officially coming to an end on this day, the 9th of January 2012.
It will not be done by KHRC. I feel elated. I think very satisfied with the little contribution that we made. And I do know that the fact that it's a talking point in many areas, I might not say that that necessarily empirically gauges impact, but we cannot deny that whatever we have done has been a cause of discussion in this country.
It has been 5 years since they assumed office. Hassan Omar was only 31 years old then, the youngest of them all, and worst of all, inexperienced, having come straight out of Moore University to land the job.
I remember Paul Mwite in the interview, or when at the point of my appointment, was told that I didn't have any experience. And his response to that was that is the experience we need. I was anxious. I knew that human rights is more than just activism, and therefore it required a heavy intellectual input itself. But that said and done, I came here and I was very comfortable because there were people who I had held with high esteem.
I ask if such differences contributed to the not-so-rosy relationship with the Commission's chair, Florence Jaoko.
Florence and I had, contrary to public perception, had a very romantic relationship, in quotes, professionally. We disagreed on many issues, and rightfully so, because we came from different schools, different backgrounds, and were separated by almost a generation. And therefore, you did expect me to agree with everything, and it will have also been fallacious for you to expect her to agree with everything.
It was a tenure riddled with controversy for this vocal human rights activist. First, the allegations that he bribed and coached international criminal court witnesses in one of the cases involving the Ocampo 6.
That was a very low moment of my time here, and everybody in this commission knew from deep down their hearts that the allegations were baseless. These kinds of theatrics are there every other time. It's something the Commission has always been positioned to be used to. And therefore, I do know that the Commission did submit part of its database to the ICC to help it make a determination. But the Commission did not undertake any investigations for or on behalf of the ICC.
As well as his candid opinion as the chair of the National Police Service Commission selection panel on the mode and procedure of recruitment of the Inspector General of Police that saw him branded as tribal.
One tribe cannot succeed itself. It is conventional wisdom. It is a political reality. Secondly, I do not believe in this country today competence rests with certain regions or certain people. Competence rests with everybody in Kenya.
When all is said and done, though, Hassan Omar says he is ready for the next phase of his life, but not before a much-deserved break from an office he only took leave from once.
I think I will be doing a bit of relaxing. Not in the strictest sense of the word that I will go and put my feet up in the beach, I will try to relocate reposition myself for the new challenge that I want to undertake, which is to run for the position of Senator of Mombasa County.
It remains clear that Hassan Omar has championed most aspects of his life to enviable success. All except one, evident as we sit down for breakfast made by the boys. A concern I raise with him in a society that judges a leader by how he is able to maintain his own family.
I was told Jesus Christ was not married, huh? But that's said and done. That's said and done. I was for a long time married to the work I was doing. I think I just too got into it and forgot everything else and neglected some of the major elements of my own, personal well-being. But I think that is now on cause. And I mean, when I say it's on cause, I really mean it. I've been saying it, and it is really, really true.
And from breakfast in Nairobi to breakfast in Mombasa, Aisha Abdallah Suleiman, Hassan Omar's mother, is one who doesn't take any chances with the well-being of the young. It is only after breakfast that we talk about her only child, about how he was when growing up.
Upande mmoja mtukutu, upande mmoja ni sawa sawa. Kwa kusoma, alikuwa si mvivu.
And his chances of settling down soon as a husband.
Karibu atapata bibi. Yeye mwenyewe achagua sana, lakini sasa namuona karibu.
And especially as Senator of Mombasa.
Ni maoni ni yake mwenyewe. Sisi tunamuunga mkono tu na tunamwombea Mungu basi.
And so all eyes remain on the man who hopes to change the face of youthful leadership in the country, Hassan Omar Hassan. Evelyn Wambui for Newsmakers.